Hi, everybody. I just wanted to touch base with my classes about the final draft of the summary. I just did a marathon session, getting all of the grades in. And I just wanted to let you know how you did and bring up a few items to let you know about what's going on in the future, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of people did extremely well. Some people really paid attention to their rough drafts and the comments that I put on them, applied those comments to their final draft, and did really a lot better and improved their draft, and then got an extremely good score on the final draft. Some people did really well initially, and then they just had to put in their final draft, which was very similar to the rough draft, and got an extremely good score that way. Some people struggled somewhat, and they needed help. And so maybe we did a Zoom session. I did many Zoom sessions over the course of the last few weeks. And we worked on it together, figured out what could be done with your rough draft. And then they did a final draft and did really well on it because they applied all of the things that we talked about. And then there's this third type of student who is just kind of acting like they're right out of high school, maybe, and they think that if they just turn anything in, it doesn't really have to necessarily relate to what's being asked of them, then it will be okay because they've got something in. Well, that doesn't happen anymore in college. Hopefully, I mean, you may find some teachers where it's still happening, but generally speaking in college, you have to actually complete the assignment. And I make that extremely possible for you to do in this online class because it's so well supported in the modules. This assignment is really well supported in the modules. All you need to do is go and find out, from the prompt what you need to do. And then I've got all these resources like the using quotations handout. I've got the must-watch videos. I've got a lot of different resources that actually teaches you how to do the assignment in a very comprehensive way, so that if you just follow those tools, then you'd be able to do it. Then there's the checklist and there's the rubric that you have, all of those things to allow you to check whether or not you've done what you needed to do the assignment and to do it well. So those people who are just throwing something against the wall, seeing if it sticks, it's possible to do that in this class. It's no problem. I understand that. Um, and as a matter of fact, you can get a C in the class because I do grade on this very high curve. So just about everybody in the class is going to get a C. So you don't necessarily have to worry about that. But it's going to mean that you're going to sort of hit the wall later on. If you're a serious student and you actually want to be successful as a student, maybe transfer to a four-year college, or if you want to be a successful professional, then you're going to need to be able to read and write. And if you don't do it in this class, then you're going to regret it later on that you didn't take advantage of the opportunities here. Because this is the class where you can really make huge strides towards becoming a successful student. It's the foundation for everything that you need to do in all of your other classes. Reading, writing, that's what you need to do. So I encourage you to take advantage of all the opportunities in the modules. In some ways, the modules are better than a face-to-face class because all of the lectures I have in there, they're available for you to look at whenever you need them. You can go back and you can refresh your memory on the lectures that I have in there. It's not like an in-class thing where you got to show up and then you leave and it just kind of all goes away, unless you take copious notes on what actually happened. So in some ways, I've found that the online class is much better. Another way the online class was better is that I am going over all of your rough drafts and I'm giving you feedback, very careful feedback, so that you know how to improve it. In the face-to-face class, I couldn't do that. There was no way for me to do that. So I'm really pleased with the opportunities that are available to you in the online class. And after last semester, I am convinced that this is working much better than the face-to-face class. I had incredible students last semester. They made incredible progress, and I'm sure that you can do the same. I'm already seeing signs that you guys are doing really well and making progress. Well, for the next stage, we got Unit 1 in the bank. And you can do a revision of that final draft if you want to. Just make sure you touch base with me to find out that you know what you need to do on it. We can do a Zoom session. As I said, we're doing a lot. I'm doing lots of those Zoom sessions, one-on-one Zoom sessions. But for the next unit, you're going to be now working on your first college level argument essay. It's kind of a heavy lift for a lot of people because they haven't written this kind of an essay before. It requires that you draw the reading into the writing for support for an argument that you want to make. It's called a reading-based argument essay. So that means that you got to annotate, annotate, annotate. And that's why we had the annotation quiz. That's why I had you annotating the Gates article. And so you need to be annotating everything that we're reading, take notes on the video so that you can recall them. And once again, I'm providing you with all kinds of support for this element as well as the summary. There's in the modules, there's tons of support on how to write an essay. There's support on this one that I want you to pay attention to is, the suggested topics and the thesis for this assignment. I want you to have those ahead of time so that as you're doing the reading, you can be annotating for those topics and you can be keeping track of them, because when it comes time to write the essay, the last thing you want to have to do is to go back in and reread everything from scratch to get your support. You're going to want to have at least 2 different sources of support from 2 different authors. In other words, 2 total sources of support in every single paragraph. That's an organizational thing that you have to maintain in order to keep track of exactly what you've read, where these topics are. In order to help you with that, I've got another resource for you. It's the I can't remember exactly what I call it, but it's a chart that allows you to keep track of everything that you're reading as you're reading it. So you can put the thesis statement up at the top, and then you've got a topic sentence and then space underneath it to keep track of everything you found on that topic, and then topic sentence and space underneath, so that you can be keeping track of what you find as you go through it. It's going to make you more efficient, save you tons of time. Then when it comes time to writing your essay, you're not going to be putting your fingers on the keyboard and wondering, I've got writer's block, I can't do this, I can't do it. No, you're going to really have a really good sense of what you want to do because it's been so well supported. And also you've kept track of the readings and you know what you want to do in your paragraphs. You're going to just take it step by step by step. Topic, sentence, support, argument, all that stuff. It's going to just all come together for you. So that's my spiel on the next segment, the education essay. I think that you're going to find the readings extremely interesting. It's going to open your eyes to some of the things that we've been discussing already with Another Brick in the Wall and all of the other things we've been thinking about in terms of the Gates article, the inequalities that there are, what are people going to do to change that? Are we going to have a liberal administration that's going to actually focus on the educational system like never before, which is what we need to make things equal, or to try to get them to a situation where the poor people and minorities can have a decent education in this country? Anyway, lots of interesting stuff to read. I think that you're going to find it fascinating. So glad you're along for the ride. It's going to be fun. And I've enjoyed working with you so far and look forward to the rest of our journey. Okay, bye.